What do you know? We're actually live. Welcome to another episode of Revenue Rev Up TV. Man, I forget the name of my own show. This is just ridiculous. So listen, if you want to grow your business faster, if it at times feels like you kind of like a duck on the water, right? Spinning underneath, but not much forward momentum is happening. Well, let's talk about momentum. Let's talk about productivity versus activity. Let's talk about getting things done versus just being busy. That's what today's episode of Revenue Rev Up TV is all about. I, of course, am. Disappearing. Oliver Van Skilson is the Millionaire Marketing Mentor with my faithful cohort here today, also known as, who are you people?
I'm Lisa Benavides, the enforcer of marketing mentors for all of our fabulous clients and supporter of all things Adam's World.
Right. And I am Bo Urbanski, aka the connector, connecting all the dots and gluing it all together so that the marketing mentors machine can function and deliver all the goodness to you in the form of Revenue Rev Up TV.
Fascinating. You know, I'm looking at our screen layout right now with Michelle, with like right in between us. This is called the Bansky sandwich.
With Lisa, not Michelle.
Oh, yeah. That's why I put our names on the bottom, so I actually know who the hell we are, right?
For sure.
I solemnly swear that from now on, I will start drinking after we broadcast, not before.
Thanks, Adam. We've been asking you to do that for a while now.
Well, you know, it's just like it takes a while. Repetition is the key to success. So, folks, if you're just dialing in, you are, let's see, I've got some, we're using new technology here, so let's see if I can actually make this work. You are watching today Revenue Rev Up TV, and our topic is how to create momentum in your business. We'll share a little bit of our personal habits. We'll probably have some questionable entertainment along the way, as in trivia and banter and things like that. And we'll probably share a handful of productivity tips in terms of what's working for us, what's working for our clients. And we also have some giveaways to share, some goodies to reveal. And of course, it wouldn't be a marketing show without a good old-fashioned pitch for some of our own products. So that's what's coming your way. Stay tuned. Welcome. By the way, you can also comment. Let's see, I do have a comment in here. Oh my God, Michelle Schaefer, also known as the head coach. What do we call Michelle? Just the head coach? That's it?
Coach.
The coach.
It's just so boring.
But that's the truth.
Let's get a new name.
All right. And she is insisting that the one between the Bansky sandwich is definitely Lisa and not Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That is debatable. So, all right. First call for the day, which is this. Lisa, I'll let you talk about our gold hashtag.
All right. We love to share what we think is helpful marketing tips and information. So when you have an aha, a takeaway, or just something that sparks your interest that you feel is like a piece of gold, we want you to use hashtag gold in the comments and then share what that tip or idea is. And we actually will send you a book if you are participating with us. So let's see all of those gold nuggets, and the more that you share, the more that you have a chance to get a book next week.
Love that. So do we actually have a winner from last week, or do we announce it now? Do we announce it later? What do we do?
I think that Michelle was our winner last week.
Wow, all right.
Yeah. I'm going to show the book. So this is the book.
Well, Michelle Schaefer is the winner?
Yeah.
Seriously? All right. That show is rigged. That game is totally rigged. All right. Now, I wanted to point out something interesting. I want to do a solo layout for you, Lisa, just to kind of single you out. And I'm looking at those banners, and they're not quite perfectly aligned. And what I am, in case our audience is seeing this as well, I just want to highlight that this was not me drinking. This was your husband, Gilbert, drinking. Right? He couldn't quite figure out how to hang him straight. All right. Let's see. Anything else? You want to do another quick comment about our free report, Lisa, as well, while we at it?
Our favorite what?
Our free report.
Yes, we also have a free report called Rapid Clients in Cash. It has done phenomenal for the people that have taken us up on it and taken action, which again, we're going to dive deep into the difference today. If you would like a